Hello guys, welcome back to the channel for a new Databricks video. Today we are going to discuss about Databricks Lakeflow Designer. If you have worked with other integration tools in the past, you would expect a feature like this in Databricks at some point where you can build data pipelines visually. With Lakeflow Designer, we can build production-ready data pipelines without writing any code whatsoever, as it provides a nice drag-and-drop canvas where we can connect to data sources, apply filtering and transformations, and save our data into Unity catalog tables. We can also extend our workflows with custom SQL and Python code, and also apply AI functions. Last but not least, we can export the Databricks notebook where it contains all the code that we have built visually, as behind the scenes Lakeflow Designer generates the Python code, so that later on we can integrate this notebook into our Databricks jobs. In this tutorial we will have a simple end-to-end example demonstrating most of the functions. Without losing any time, let's get down to business.
Okay guys, so here let's create a new Lakeflow Designer workflow. The first thing we have to do is click on New and click on Visual Data Prep. And here it opens a new canvas here to play around. You can describe what you want and Code will provide you the output, and then you can accept it or reject it or make your own transformations on top of that. Here you have the options to select the source, upload the file, load the sample. Click here on the sources, and here we can see we can create a table from a file, in this file. From your workspace or volumes, you can drag and drop and file, right? You can use Google Drive or Microsoft and SharePoint. But for now, we are going to select a table from Unity Catalog. So let's select the customers table. Here on the preview tab, you will see a sample of the data, which is actually very convenient to have a sample of the data, even if it's not the data. Maybe you cannot debug completely, but at least you know you have the data here, right? And then first of all, if you want to navigate on the canvas, you click on space and then you use your mouse, right? Let's drag and drop another source. We want the orders table from the main catalog. Let's use the orders table. Let's see the data here as well. Okay, have all these things. And if you want to group all the sources together or group a few things together, you can use the group operator. So drag and drop the group operator and then drag and drop inside the group operator your sources. And then here just type sources, for example. And if you want to make things more tidy and neat, you click on the auto layout, very helpful as well. Right, and now that we have the source tables, we want to apply some filtering and some transformations. So here in the orders table, let's click on the orders table. If you want to filter, let me click on that. So here you can use the orders table. We have clicked on the orders table, so here we can specify the instructions of what we want to achieve. But for filtering, you can see there is a filter task here. You can drag and drop, but let's use Code for that. Filter the orders where quantity is greater than 1, right? So let's type that. Let's wait for Code to do its magic. Let's wait here. And here you can see a new task, which is the filter that you see here on this blade. And Code is running the task here. You can see the input, you can see the output. Here we had a customer with that has quantity 1, so we exclude this record here. And here if you double click on the filtering, you can see the condition. You can change the condition as well. Right, so that's how you You accept all if you are satisfied with the data. Now the second thing we're going to do is actually calculate the total amount in new column. So let's click on the filter quantity, create new total amount column where we multiply unit price and quantity, right? Quantity. Type that and let's see what Gini code gives us back. Here we have it's preparing the total amount column. You can see in the formula the column name and the expression. Now you can play around, you can change all this stuff or add action. And if you scroll to the right, you can see the total amount, which is quantity multiplied by the price. Accept all. We are satisfied with that. And the last thing, if you want, for example, to use custom SQL code, let's say you want to calculate the latest order per customer, and you want to use an analytical function, you go here where it says write custom SQL code or run custom Python code. For now, we're going to use SQL, right? Connect these things here, and here it selects from the previous task, the data from the previous task. What we do here is we partition based on the customer ID order by order date to get the order rank. So if you apply that, you will see a new column here, the order rank for the customer ID, the latest order. It doesn't make any sense to have it here, just I wanted to demonstrate how you can use analytical functions. So here, let's call that orders silver table, right? And then here, let's get to the customers table. I have already prepared instructions because I don't want to do anything manually here. I'm too lazy for that. So you select the customers table. Here is the instructions that I provide. Apply the following transformations for the customer table in one task. Sign up date, cast as date, calculate the customer age, which is a new column based on date diff on the current date and the sign up date, the year of the sign up date, and a new Boolean column is corporate, where segment equals corporate. So let's give that to Gini code. Let's wait to do its magic again. And I wanted to do that in one task. I don't want separate task for each one. So multiple actions in one task, and you can change that here, the formulas, all these kinds of things. You can double check. And on the output, you can see the new columns here, right? So let's accept all. And then let's call this customers silver, for example. Okay. And now what we want to do is actually join the silver tables. Let's drag and drop the join here. Okay, and here on the left table, you select the customer silvers, the customer's silver table, and then on the right table, you select the orders silver. You select the column that you want to join, so that's customer ID for both tables. You can select the join type. Let's use inner join here. And then from one of the tables, unselect the customer ID. We don't want to have duplicated columns. Click on apply, and you will see in the output the results, so all the columns based on this join. Let's click on the auto layout again to tidy up our workflow. And the last step we have to do here is use the aggregate. You can use aggregate here. You can see that. But again, let me provide some instructions to Gini code. Here, select on the join, click on edit, and the aggregate the sum total amount. And let Gini code again do the final step, the aggregate by group, a segment, and city. Click on the here. As you can see, it selected the sum of the total amount, and then on the group by operators selects product, segment, and city. We accept all. You can see the data here. And the last step is actually to write this data into Unity catalog, right? So let's go here, drop that, connect that to the source here. For example, gold table, right? Create or replace a table, you have merge and append. And here, let's call it gold table demo. For example, what we want to save into our Unity catalog, you have to provide the catalog and the schema. And until now, it hasn't run anything. All the transformations are on the fly in memory. It hasn't executed anything. So it will write into Unity catalog once I click the run button. It's running. And we expect to see the table in Unity catalog here. That's a success, right? So if you go here into Unity catalog, let's refresh, and you can see the gold table demo. You can see the same data here. Once I start the serverless, doesn't matter, but you can see here in the preview button, you can see the final data. Now you can also schedule, right? You can also schedule your workflow with a scheduler, and you can also share it with your colleagues, right? But the most important thing is that you can export it as a Databricks notebook, because Lakeflow Designer behind the scenes generate the code that you have built here visually. So all this stuff, it's in a Databricks notebook in Python code, which is awesome. You don't have to write any code at all. It provides you the this visual canvas where you can build your workflows and also the code behind the scenes. So later on you can integrate this Databricks notebook into your Databricks jobs. But how cool is that to have a visual tool to build workflows in Databricks? I expect something like that because it reminds me of Oracle integration tool where you have something similar, or ADF, right? So this is it. This is how you can build workflows, data pipelines using the UI in Databricks. Also, if you go into your workspace, you can see all the Lakeflow Designer here, Lakeflow Designer workflows, and open it again and make changes. This is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new. I think it's a very cool feature. Maybe it's not for very advanced, data pipelines or workflows, but I think it's pretty useful for simple workflows or for business users. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.